Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Brad Tragic on a crazy Friday afternoon. Wow. Overtime abundance with my work. Jesus. Um, but here we go. TNA pay per view was last night, so a crazy wrestling review. Thank you, Sean's View, for not Sean's View. I don't know. Some guy I don't really care for. I watched last night and got the results of Impact. Um, so TNA happened last night. I guess a lot of people don't like TNA and what they're doing. And I mean, I think they're actually pretty good. And to be quite honest, I think TNA is a lot better than WWE right now. Um, and that's sad. If TNA is better than WWE, I mean, there's some things that WWE are better at, but to be quite honest, TNA is better than watching Raw or SmackDown right now, and that's pretty sad. That is pretty damn sad when TNA is worth watching more than the WWE. Um, I will admit, I mean, storyline wise, everything like that. That's what I'm talking about. Because I mean, WWE doesn't really. Raw was great, and I'm not gonna like fall into the trap holes of every single person that says, Raw sucks every single week, blah blah blah. But I mean, Raw did suck this week. But the whole thing about it is that people are irritated about it is because they don't build towards anything. They're just having Raws basically for nothing, and they're not really building toward anything. It's like if the only thing they do is put the guys in a match that they're gonna have a match with at the pay per view, and it's like, well, why would you do that? It's just like this. It's like I don't understand why they keep doing that. It's like, so why put? They had Kane versus CM Punk, which is like, why do you do that? They're gonna fight the pay per view. Why do we want to see it now? Save that. Have CM Punk do a squash job, on some guy and have Kane run in. You can still have Daniel Bryan on commentary, but just have Kane do a run in. I mean, what would be a funny thing to do is have Daniel Bryan get ready to do a run in, and then the red lights go off, and then Kane comes and does the run in instead. I can see that. I don't know what the WWE are thinking, but I just think storyline driven. TNA is doing a whole hell of a lot better job lately than WWE. I mean, WWE's got that one major storyline that they always worry about, and that's about it. It's like John Cena is the whole embodiment of the WWE, and everything goes around him, and it's like I understand, he's your number one babyface, but when that's basically the only storyline you guys are actually caring about, that's pretty sad. And the second one that they care about, evidently, is Sheamus, and it's not even the one that people really care about. So I mean, the Daniel Bryan one and everything like that. It's like I don't know. It's like I don't see it progressing like it should. And the thing about TNA has like all these storylines going on. Like Brooke Hogan, Madison Rayne, Garrett Bischoff, and all these other things going on. It's like, yeah, they may be shitty. Yeah, they may suck like crap. But you know how many storylines they progress every single week? And it's just crazy, And I'm not a TNA mark. I'm not. I mean, I rarely watch TNA. When I do, usually I have it DVR'd, and usually I watch the reviews on here. But when I actually do sit down and watch it, I'm like, damn, this is a lot better than Raw this past week. Weird. Um, but yeah, it's just like when I actually do sit down and watch it. Um, you guys hear that? That's just really annoying. Um, But when you sit down and watch it, I just think it's a lot better than the WWE. And, it just goes to show you that there's ups and there's downs in the world of wrestling. And I mean, when is the up going to come for the WWE? It's been a while. And so we've had like a super boom period for the WWE. And I think it's coming. But it's, the writers have to get their head out of their asses and actually start using the guys they got. Um, I actually think it should have already happened, but I mean, when they had everybody like Morrison and everybody there, and they had R-Truth being a singles competitor, and they had, at one time they had about 4 or 5 tag teams just a while back, and I think that should have been the boom time. It should have been the boom time, but the writers missed the mark. They missed the boat, and I think it's gone now. I think there's going to be another while before if that unless they just start right now and get some of these guys back that they released. Um, it could happen again, but I don't know. It's a sad time in wrestling right now because it's very very sad to watch wrestling. Um, I told my wife a couple times lately that I don't know, like I'm almost about ready to stop watching WWE because it's just so horrible. But it's just like, once you get into wrestling, you are hooked for life. And you want to watch it, whether it's bad or good. So you kind of don't know. It's kind of like a double entendre because you're trying to, you want the product to get better. You want to stop watching. You want to, tell the WWE in some way, that you don't like their product. But, there's no way for us, the WWE Universe, to really say anything about it. We can't, call them up. We can't, go to the website and really say anything about it because evidently that doesn't work. Um, but there's things, I think the WWE needs to actually start taking into account what the WWE Universe likes and does not like, Um, even like guys, I mean, it's like, I don't know, they need to do something and, WWE Network is coming and like, they couldn't have picked the worst time. Like I could have seen like during the Attitude Era, the WWE Network would have been awesome. But right now, the WWE Network, oh god, if they're talking about it being interactive and everything like that, who's gonna give a shit with the guys they got now? That's all I am saying. I mean, you can talk about TNA all you want. You can talk about how shitty they are, but at least they somewhat let the fans decide this past Thursday, or the Thursday before that, who Devon was going to face. Uh, and I believe was it Jeff Hardy? I think it was Jeff Hardy. And then, Robbie did the run in. Anyway, we won't go through that. But, at least they had the opportunity to pick who he was going to face. I mean, that's pretty cool. Why would you have the TV champion face any of those 3 guys? Or any of the 4 guys? I have no idea, but I don't know. TNA's weird sometimes, but they do have storylines. That's the thing. They have storylines out the wazoo, and WWE's got storylines, but they make no damn sense. At least TNA storylines, maybe stupid as they are, they make sense. WWE storylines, they make no sense at all. They're just like, hey, we have nothing for Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. They have no talent at all. We're going to put them in a tag team. What the hell? I mean, this is the worst thing I have ever seen since I started watching wrestling again. I stopped watching wrestling for a long time, and basically the only part, I'm trying to think exactly when I started watching wrestling again, because there was a break, and I didn't really miss it for the longest time, but then things were happening with CM Punk, and I missed it, and I wanted to go back and watch it. But I think it really was basically last WrestleMania, but I know I didn't watch the last WrestleMania, but it was around that time when Undertaker and Triple H, that's what drew me back, because that looked like an amazing match, and that's really what got me back into wrestling again. And to think that the 2 guys who don't even wrestle on a constant basis is the guys that got me back in, and there's nobody there that is really worth watching except for the 2 guys that the WWE have no faith in at all as their World Heavyweight Champions, who are Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. And I am not an indie fan. I am not an ROH fan. I'm not a huge TNA fan. I'm not a huge anything like that, like a wrestling. I'm not a wrestling fan like that. I just like the way they entertain. They entertain on the mic. They can wrestle in the ring. They can do everything. It's just like, I'm not going to compare them to Bret Hart because I wasn't really a Bret Hart fan. But I like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. I like what they do. They entertain me. I like them. They should be main eventers. They should not be facing each other. They need to be doing their own things. This should be a WrestleMania match that was saved. Instead, they blew it. They ran it over with the bus. They, squirted before, they had the opportunity to build these guys up properly on their own shows. So the WWE was stupid. This could have been your Hogan versus Warrior at like WrestleMania probably 32, 33 probably, and you fucked up. So, I don't know. Like, I think it really could have been their Hogan and Warrior of our generation, and they really fucked up. This is basically a rant, I don't know if I remember. I don't remember if I did a Raw this week. I don't remember if I talked about it. It really doesn't matter because it was so horrible that I saw other people doing reviews of this Monday's Raw, and I was like, "There's no way I could do a review." And if I did already, then I apologize. I, my sleep pattern's been out of whack this week and everything. But oh my God, this is so horrendous. Wrestling is irritating the shit out of me lately because I always want to keep up with it. I always want to watch it, follow it, but this is just. And the thing got me is that Dolph Ziggler. I love Dolph Ziggler too. I think he's got a great talent. He's one of the guys that's there, and anybody that says that he can't make it as world champion, they're ridiculous because he had the U.S. championship. He was over the crowd. I think he was getting mixed reactions when he was the U.S. champion, and people were liking Dolph Ziggler as U.S. champion, I think, for a while, but they got tired of it, and they wanted him to get rid of it. He got rid of it, but then they didn't go anywhere with him. When you get a U.S. champion that is over, like a Dolph Ziggler, why in God's green hell, when you take the belt off of him, the logical step is not to put him in a tag team and try for the tag. I mean, I'm thinking about Zack Ryder. Yeah, maybe him because he can't wrestle for shit. But when you do that with a guy like Dolph Ziggler, who actually has talent and actually can wrestle, and they put him in a tag team with Jack Swagger, who's not going anywhere, it just drops all the weight right on the Dolph Ziggler, kills whatever momentum he had. So to be quite honest, he has to get the U.S. belt back again. He has to build himself back up because of dumbasses in the back. And some people say, "Oh, don't blame the writers. Don't blame the writers. Don't blame the writers." Yes, I will blame the writers because they suck. They can't write for shit. You put me in that damn position, I guarantee you I can fucking bring money in that damn door. It's just ridiculous. The ideas they come up with, it's like, why do we have a match between these two? They've never seen this before. And then just have it on SmackDown. It's like, yeah, so the Raw recap of SmackDown this week on Raw with the matches intact. Great idea. Thank you for watching. This has been my rave rant. See you later.